Hello, welcome to Auction Spy. This is a channel where we appraise properties that are going to auction with a view to working out what strategy the person who purchases the property is going to apply to the property, and then we try and work backwards after the purchase to see what they've actually gone for. We use Valak to appraise the properties that are going to auction, and we apply some of the skills that we have as investors ourselves to hopefully educate anyone watching this on what you should be looking at when you're doing a purchase. Now, this is the appraisal of the property I selected from the auction search, the IG website. We are looking at 280 to 286 White House Road in Bristol. This is a development for 9 buildings, 9 units. Okay, up front you can see there are 7 here, but there are another 2 somewhere on the site. I believe these are the 2 that are at the rear of the site, so there's a different access. Let me see if I can get to the. So this is a bit of the plan. That's probably the 3-floor master bedrooms on the top. Okay, so this is the layout. So the other 2, I believe, approach through Charterhouse, whilst the rest of the buildings are at the front. These 7 at the front. Okay, so 9 properties, planning permission granted, and going to auction on the 29th of July at Hollis Morgan. Okay, now let's look at some legal stuff. There's so much documentation here, which is always a good thing. I've downloaded a few, had a look. This site, it's a bit of history, had outline planning permission for 18 flats according to the CPSC, and they've gone back and changed the planning from 18 flats to 9 dwellings. And one of the reasons they gave in the paperwork was that there was a lot of objection to 18 flats. Let me see if I can pull up the CPSE document without signature. Okay, so these are the elevations that you already see. Okay, so this property had the planning permission was granted in what I suspect is 2010, and usually when planning permission is granted you have to execute or implement the planning within 3 years, but there are certain strategies that some developers use, which is they kickstart the project. The moment you've started the project, then that limit of 3 years disappears. So this document here is proving that they have started the work, and the council says yes, whatever you've done is counted as having started after the work. Can't find my downloads section. It's gone, but I can re-download it. Oh, this is it here. CPSC. So as with all auction properties, make sure you look at the paperwork, get a solicitor to review it, and make sure you are happy with the interpretation of the different things in the auction pack. So the seal, it says there's no seal, which is fine. Can't see anything for section 106. So if that is the case, I don't know if it's because it was granted in 2010, that's why there's no seal. Usually most things these days attract some level of seal or some contribution to the local economy or the local infrastructure. But without seal, this one's okay, that's positive. In terms of the auction pack, the legal pack, again, the other thing is this is there's an option to purchase the company that owns the property, and if you're purchasing the company, it's considered a share sale. And the share sale, one advantage of share sales that I've heard is that the tax treatment of sale of shares is different from purchasing a house. Essentially, you pay lower stamp duty. So that's something to look at. You don't have to buy a company that way. You might decide to just buy the building off of the company, but the choice is yours. Contamination, again, is a big issue because it was light industrial. So contamination is something you need to investigate. There is a document here, but I don't understand it. And you must do a soil survey to try and work out how much it will cost to dig the soil and to create a foundation. So sometimes that's a huge expense, which I've heard horror stories of the fixing the soil has cost more than actually building the buildings that are on the soil. So it's definitely worth looking at and investigating. They have done quite a lot of work, to be fair, in terms of pre-investigation into the soil and contamination. These are documents that specialists should be looking at. Not me so much, but I can hazard a guess, and we have to do our appraisal. So I had already recorded one version of this, and for some reason the video didn't appear, so hence why you are seeing the appraisal already. So I'm going to talk you through the appraisal. We know there are 9 properties. We've put in 5, so 5 of the properties have 3 floors, 2 have 2 floors, and then you have the 2 at the rear, which we believe 2 floors. And in terms of the sizes of the units, we've made assumptions. So there's a national space standard document which tells you what the spaces that the minimum spaces that the government expects you to have in different types of units. So we know there are 3 bedrooms, but there are 3 stories, so we've assumed 90 square meters. And then the 3 bedrooms with 2 stories, we've said 79, so it's 3 bedrooms, 4 person. And then for the last 2, we've done I think 3 bedroom, 84. So that's where these numbers come from, so 90, 79 and 84. The build cost in the area, you just click this button and it fills it with the cost in the area. So that's the total build cost for the 5 units with 3 floors, 790. And then the sale price, we've gone for the sale prices in the area. So clicking the 3 dots will give you the sold prices in the area. So this is the range, so 127 to 430 for the entire area. But for our 90 square meter building, just click that button for sold prices. So average sold price is 278. I'd expect you to be able to achieve a bit more. So we looked at the sale price instead. So properties on the market are generally higher than sold price. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but bearing in mind that COVID is currently, there's still some lockdown, even though the sales of properties and property industry are looking on. But that's something to bear in mind. But this is going to be a new build. There will be a bit of a premium. So I've decided to go for this price, which is the sale price. So we've done the same for all the other units. And what we've ended up with is 413,000 as the offer price. The guide price is 679. If anyone can build this for cheaper, they will probably offer higher. But for us, we are developers and we use subcontractors to do the build. So we cannot compete with people who build it themselves. We've also reduced the developer's profit from 30% to 20%. Why? The risk is fairly low. As you know, you have definitely got planning. A lot of the professional work has been done, and you would know right now if people would want to buy, and you can do your pre-sales straight away. Obviously, the auction is towards the end of July, so you have a bit more time to do more research on the market. But having done all of these figures and looking at what the area has to offer, I would say the maximum I'll go to is 413. I may push it to 500,000, purely because a lot of professional work has been done, and hopefully it's all stuff that you can reuse. So 20% comes in at 537,000. This is all before tax, right? This is gross. and then you have disposal cost of 80 grand. You might be able to bring that down, which means you have a bit in the coffers. So 413, maybe go up to 500,000. But I would imagine that if the auction house is put at 675, they may well think they can achieve higher. But fortunately, based on what I can see, this is not a deal. We also have this option of looking at the what demand is like. Hopefully, there's enough data for us to see. So let's put that now. So the seller's market, which means there are. That's very good. So average sales per month 5, total for sale 10. So average days on the market is 57. Wow. Okay, so I think this is actually quite a good one. If that's the case, then your sale price could actually be higher than this. So let's have a look at what we have. So top one is 370, which is average. It will definitely be above average. Okay. This is where you're engineering the figures to make it work, but demand is quite high, so it is worth just take a risk and see. But obviously speak to an agent and they will tell you what's what. If you can achieve more than this, then yeah, you're getting closer and closer to the guide price. But with these figures, verify with a local agent. It's too risky to peg yourself at the top whack maximum price, because you don't know why you sold at that price, but it could very well achieve a higher price, but no. But having said all that, we want to manage to get up to 618. If we reduce the professional fees to 70 and add that there, then we're in. But that's really pushing it. We need to do a lot of research. We've used a finance rate of 2.85%, acquisition costs of 9.6%, which will come down actually about that because your stamp duty will be lower. So yeah, there are little bits here and there where you can make some savings, but definitely check with the agents that you can definitely achieve these prices and get your builder to give you a quote. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and post any questions in the comment section. Thank you.